Alrighty, so we are finally ready to move on to the rest of the app. I know we spent quite a bit of time in this first part learning about web requests and going through all of the different ways using URL session and Alamofire and then the 3 different ways to parse the JSON. But all of that is very important that you have a strong fundamental understanding of those principles. But now we can move on to some other fun stuff, all right? So the next part that we're going to work on is this portion right here where we have these 4 buttons that take us to the other screens for the home world, for vehicles, for starships, and for the films, okay? So we are going to need some icons right here. And I am going to provide to you these icons. However, I did get some feedback that it would be nice to watch me go through the entire process of going and finding the icons, importing them into Sketch, exporting them, and doing each and every step just to see how that's done. So if you're interested, that's what this lesson is going to be. This is an optional lesson. If you want to watch me go through the whole process of going and finding icons, doing what I need to do with them in Sketch, and then exporting them and then importing them into Xcode, all right? So if you want to follow along with that, great. If not, you can just download the images from this lesson and we'll use them in the next one. All right, so if you do just a Google search for something like free icons mobile development, you're going to get a whole bunch of options, and there's a lot out there. Something like Flat Icon or Icons 8, mobile app icons, Icon Finder. There's a whole bunch out there. I prefer Noun Project for my icons. These are free with attribution, okay? So if you use them in a commercial app, then you need to provide attribution, which we are going to do. Another good option is Material Icons. All right, so I know this is made by Google for Android, but they have some great icons here that you are able to use for free. And yeah, there's a whole bunch, and they look good. And if you find one that you want, then you are able to use it. And the way to get it for iOS is just come here to the Git repository, and then come down here to the developer guide. I guess we could have gone straight to the developer guide from here. Go to the developer guide, and you can get them right here, downloading everything. So if you click on this, it's about 60 megs to get all of the icons. And then you'll end up with a folder that looks like this. And you can go into the categories. They have them split up by categories: social, places, notification, navigation, maps, etc. So we can, let's pick social for instance. And you'll see here that they have them split up. These are for Android. This is the SVGs. These are for web. And here we have iOS. So you can see here that we have all of these different icons. And if we go ahead and open one of these up, we can check these out, and we have them in 2x and 3x already sorted out for us. So that's pretty nice. All right, so that is one really nice resource for getting icons. If you need some in a pinch, you can check out what they have over here at Material Icons. All right, so back to Noun Project. All right, let's take a look at our finished app again. We have a planet, we have a vehicle, we have some starships, and a film. All right, so let's go ahead and check out what we have here. First off, we are going to need something for the planet, right? So let's go ahead and see what we have here. I'm going to have my simulator open over here because I'm not entirely sure which ones I picked before. Let's see here. I think that I picked... Okay, so this isn't exactly like the one that we have in the finished app, but I kind of like it. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. And you can go ahead and say, get this icon. All right, so this is by Vectors Market. So we are providing attribution to it. So I'm going to say, get this icon. And we can go ahead, and you'll probably need to log in. And if you don't have an account, create an account. So I'm going to log in. And you can select the size right here. I'm going to say 100 pixels. And then you can also pick the color. I'm going to change this to a white. And then we're going to say download. All right, so that is being downloaded to my downloads folder. Let's go ahead and look for our other ones. We have here vehicle. And actually, I think what I searched for to get that other one was hover. So let's see what that gets us. And let's see here. Ah, yes, here we go. So this is the one right here. We're going to export it at 100 pixels and white and click right there. All right, so we got that one now. The next one, we can search for Star Wars. They actually have some Star Wars stuff in here. So if you want to spice up your app with some of these icons, go for it. And we want the X-Wing. Let's see here. Where are you at? Right. So similar to that one. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. This one right here. All right, same thing, white and 100 pixels, and drop that in, downloaded. And then we have the film button. So I'm going to search for film. And let's see here. I want this one right here will do fine. And I'm going to go ahead and download that one as well. All right, so now that we have our icons, I'm going to go ahead and open up Sketch. I'm going to create a new document. And I'm going to bring in some artboards. I'm going to use the shortcut A to bring in an artboard. And then I'm going to go ahead and set this to be 40 by 40 size. And I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to create 3 copies of this. So we have 4. There we go. And now I'm going to bring in those images that we just downloaded. Okay, so we have this one right here. Going to drop that in. And for all 4 of the artboards, I'm going to change the background color. And I'm going to uncheck include in export. So this will just be for us to be able to see the white images better. Okay, so grab you and center you up. That looks good. And I'm going to drag in the next one right here. And that's actually the starship. That should go into this one here. There we go. That looks good. And then the vehicle should be, oh, wrong one again. Let's see here. Vehicle here. There we go. There's the vehicle. It kind of actually looks like a shoe or something. That's okay. All right, and then we are going to bring in finally our film right there. Okay, now for some reason, this film looks much smaller than the other ones. It doesn't really fill its artboard. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger, like so. Maybe move it right there. That looks good. All right, then I'm going to rename the artboard. So this is going to be Planet, or I should say Home World, to keep the naming consistent. This is going to be Vehicle. This is going to be Starship. And this is going to be Film. All right, perfect. So now that we have our 4 artboards and they all look good, good sizing, I'm going to select all 4 artboards, then go to Make Exportable and select the Export to iOS and say Export Layers. And we're going to go ahead and put that right here on the desktop in a new folder called Star Trivia Button Icons and export. And I'll go ahead and save that as button icons. Then we can quit out of that. And I forgot to supply attribution for the other one. So this one was by J Designer. And then we had Star Wars. let's see here, this guy down here, all the way down here. Okay, so this one is by Ben Davis. And then we had one for the hover. Let's see here, hover, this guy right here. This is by Pro Symbols. All right, so there is our attribution for those. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. Here we go, Star Trivia button icons. We have all of our images right here. So I'm going to need to, in Xcode, open up our assets.exe assets folder. And then we need to get our Finder back here and drop all of these right into our assets. Perfect. All right, beautiful. All right, and that is how I usually go about finding and creating the icons for my apps. All right, so hope this was beneficial to you. Go ahead and download the assets. If you weren't able to follow along, if you don't have Sketch, you can use one of those other services that we talked about earlier when we were going through how to use images in iOS. And yeah, go ahead and download these, and we'll be using them in the next lessons. I'll see you then.